From an underground bunker in an undisclosed location east of Java, this is Kurt Berglund with more Strat Baseball. The Gem Series, best of 3 contest that I'm setting up between excellent teams of the decades of the 70s and 80s for the most part, but dabbling in the other decades as well. Yesterday we had a whopper of a game between the 1977 Royals and the 1981 Yankees. It went 12 innings. And the Royals finally pulled it out by a score of 5-1, scoring 4 runs in the 12th. The winning run being driven in by a single by Al Cowens, but the nails in the coffin being administered by none other than big first baseman John Mayberry, hitting a 3-run bomb off of left-hander Rudy May to, for all intents and purposes, end the contest. Winning pitcher for the Royals was Larry Gura. The loser was George Frazier. Today, we are in Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, and it's game 2 of the best of 3. If the Royals win, it's all over. Let's tell you about these teams a little bit. In 1981, the New York Yankees went 59-48 and won the American League pennant by defeating the Oakland Athletics Billy Ball in the championship series, 3 straight games, and then going on to take the first 2 games of the World Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers before getting swept in the next 4 to lose the series in pretty flat fashion. The 1977 Kansas City Royals won 102 games. They won the American League West, and they lost the American League pennant to the 77 Yankees in 5 games. This, you could argue, is the Royals' best team ever. Lots of power, lots of extra base, lots of on base, and pretty good pitching, especially in a bullpen that I think is underrated. So today we have for the Kansas City Royals starting is right-hander Jim Colborn. Now I should mention that yesterday Dennis Leonard started in Yankee Stadium and pitched a great ball game. Limited the Yankees to 1 run over 8 2/3 innings, but couldn't pull out the win thanks to a pinch hit home run by Bobby Mercer in the bottom of the 9th that tied things up and sent it to extra innings. But Leonard did his job. Today, Colborn pitches in Kansas City, and the weather is terrible. It's going to be tough to get one out of here, and even the base hits are going to be hard to come by. Tomorrow, if it's necessary, Paul Splittorff goes back in Yankee Stadium, the traditional left-hander pitching in Yankee Stadium, trying to get the win for the Royals. But the Royals don't want to let it get that far, and so I think you'll see both teams with an all-hands-on-deck kind of approach to this ball game. The Yankees need to win, of course, or the series is over, and the Royals don't really want to go to Yankee Stadium. So it's Jim Colborn, maybe the number 2 starter in 1977 for the Royals. His record, 18-14 with a 3.62 earned run average in 35 starts and 239 innings of work. He will be opposed by left-hander and borderline, maybe not borderline, Hall of Famer Tommy John, who was 9-8 in 1981 with a 2.63 earned run average in 20 starts in the strike-shortened season and 140 innings of work. Let's go through the lineups, and we'll get this thing started. For the visiting New York Yankees, a couple of changes today, but none at the top. Starting with Willie Randolph, second baseman, leading off. Jerry Mumphrey will bat second in center field. Dave Winfield, will bat third and play left field. Reggie Jackson will bat fourth and play right field. Oscar Gamble will bat fifth and be the DH. Greg Nettles will bat sixth and play third base. Bob Watson, a new face, is in today, batting seventh and playing first base. Larry Milbourne, another new face, is in today playing shortstop and batting eighth. And Rick Cerone will bat ninth and do the catching. for the homestanding Kansas City Royals. Leading off and playing shortstop, Freddie Patek. Batting second, DH, Hal McRae. Batting third, third baseman, George Brett. Batting fourth, right fielder, Al Cowens. Batting fifth, first baseman, John Mayberry. Batting sixth, center fielder, Amos Otis. Batting seventh, catcher, Darrell Porter. Batting eighth, left fielder, Joe Zeb. And batting ninth, second baseman, Frank White. All right, I think we're ready to get going. Let's see how this one turns out. Willie Randolph standing in against Jim Colborn. Here we go, and that's a walk. Both jaws walk for ball 4. And he trots down to first base. Porter throws better than Wathan, and so he is in today to do the catching. Let's see if the Yankees decide to get a little bit more aggressive than they did yesterday. And Randolph's going to try for the lead right away. He doesn't get it. The pitch to Mumphrey. Ground ball, first base, Mayberry. Patek. And back to Colborn, and that's a 3-6-1 double play. 2 down in the first for the Yankees, and Dave Winfield. Line drive, base hit, Winfield. He's aboard. Reggie Jackson with 2 outs and 1 man on. Hit one. Oh, wild pitch chance for Colborn. Wild pitch. Reggie's ahead in the count, 1-0. Winfield trots down to second base. The pitch to Reggie. Ground ball first, gloved by Mayberry. He's going to take it himself, and that will retire the Yankees in the first. We go to the bottom of the first. No score in this one. Freddie Patek leads off against Tommy John. Ground ball first, that's Watson. He'll take it unassisted, and that's 1 down in the Royals first. Hal McRae. Ground ball short, that's Milbourne. He throws to Watson, and that's 2 down. And George Brett against Tommy John. Ground ball first. This is Watson. He's going to flip to John covering, and that will retire the Royals in the first. We go to the second, and we are scoreless in Kansas City. Oscar Gamble, Greg Nettles, and Bob Watson this inning for the Yankees. And that's a looping line drive, base hit Gamble. Oscar, through the light rain, gets it into right field, and Greg Nettles stands in against Colborn. He draws a walk, 2 on, nobody out. Bob Watson stands in, good clutch hitter, but also a double play candidate. Pitch from Colborn, ground ball second. White fumbles it, and he's going to take the sure out at first. And that will advance the runners to second and third. Gamble is now at third. Nettles now at second. Larry Milbourne. Royals infield playing back. Pitch to Milbourne. Looper. Base hit Milbourne. That's going to drive in the first run of the ball game. Gamble scores. Nettles stops at third. Milbourne is on at first. There's men at the corners. Colborn in his first jam of the game. 1 man out. Cerrone is up. Good double play target. And he doesn't hit into a double play. It's lying down the line. That's going to be trouble in the corner. Zeb is going to go get it. Nettles scores. Milbourne to third. Cerrone's driven in the second Yankee run. Andy Hassler is going to start throwing in the Royals bullpen. It's 2-0 Yankees, and Randolph stands in. Suicide squeeze. Does he get it down? He does. Here comes Milbourne from third. He will score, and it is a sacrifice. Colborn to White covering first, and Milbourne's in on the suicide squeeze by Willie Randolph. 3-0 Yankees, and Jerry Mumphrey stands in. 2 men out. Cerrone on third. The pitch, is a line drive, base hit, extra bases. It's going to roll all the way to the wall in right center. Collins is going to go collect it, but Mumphrey drives in Cerrone. It's 4-0 Yankees. And Colborn is in difficulty. They're going to order Winfield walked, and Jackson will come to the plate, but he will face a new Royals pitcher, and it will be Andy Hassler. Colborn lasts an inning and 2/3. He allows 5 hits, 2 walks, 1 more intentional, and no strikeouts. So Colborn does not get the job done. Hassler comes in. He was a swingman for the Royals in 1977. And he was 9-6 with a 4.20 earned run average in 27 starts and 156 innings of work. So Winfield is now on first. And Mumphrey is on third. Reggie Jackson stands in against the left-hander Hassler. Royals looking to stop the bleeding. There's 2 men out. And is hit high and deep to right field. Al Cowan's drifting back, but not today. And he makes the grab on the warning track. After 1.5, however, the Yankees now lead 4-0. Tommy John stands on the mound, and he faces Al Cowens, and Cowens drills a base hit. And look at Cowens go around first. Winfield gets it out of the corner, and Cowens is on second with a double. A hustle double for Al Cowens. John Mayberry. Ground ball second. That's Randolph. He will throw to Watson, and that's 1 down, sorry. Cowens moves to third. Amos Otis stands in. And Amos hits a fly ball center field. That's Mumphrey. Cowens is tagging. And he scores on the sacrifice fly to center field by Amos Otis. It's 4-1 Yankees. And Darrell Porter, with 2 outs and nobody on, stands in against Tommy John. And he lofts a fly ball to center. Mumphrey's going to take this one also. And that will retire the side after 2. It's the Yankees 4 and the Royals 1. Oscar Gamble doesn't do well against left-handed pitching in 1981, but they are not going to pinch hit for him, at least not yet. He does strike out against Hassler, and that's 1 out on the gas. Greg Nettles stands in. He's no official at-bats today, and Hassler blows him away with some gas. And that's a second strikeout for Hassler. And Bob Watson stands in. And Bob Watson pops it up. That's shortstop Freddie Patek, and he will take it for the 3rd out in the 3rd inning. Go to the bottom of the 3rd, and it's Yankees 4, Royals 1. Joe Zeb stands in. It's Zeb, White, and Patek, the Royals, here in the 3rd. Ground ball shortstop. Milborn's got it. He's going to throw to first, and that's it for Joe Zeb. 1 down. Frank White stands in. Looper, base hit. Frank White, he's on. And he's got speed. Number of things they could do here. Patek stands in. White tries for the jump. He does not get the jump, so he's going to hold it first. And Patek stands in and draws a walk. Tommy John now in trouble. 1 out and 2 men on. White on second. Patek on first. The Royals have good speed. On the bases, Hal McRae stands in against Tommy John. Hal's 0 for 1 today. And that's a base hit, McRae. He comes through with a base hit up the middle. That's going to score White from second. Patek's going to go all the way to third, and the Royals have men at the corners. They've cut the lead to 2. Tying run is on first base. That's Patek on third, McRae on first, and George Brett standing in against Tommy John. Now the Yankees have a problem. Brett's 0 for 1 today. Yankee infield at double play depth. Line drive, base hit. Brett, it's 4-3. John is in trouble, and McRae stops at second. There's one man out. The Royals have cut the lead to 1, and the Yankees are hemorrhaging. Rudy May is warming up in the Yankee bullpen, and so is Rick Russell. It's win or go home for the Yankees, and McRae is on second. Brett's on first. There's one man out. Al Cowan stands in, and Al hits a ground ball to short. That's Milbourne. That's Randolph, and that's Watson for the double play. Tommy John does what Tommy John does, and that's throw double play balls. That gets the Yankees out of the inning. However, the Royals scored 2 and are back in the game. After 3 innings, it's Yankees 4, Royals 3, and Larry Milbourne stands in against Andy Hassler in the top of the 4th. Milbourne, Cerrone, and Randolph are on their way for New York, and Milbourne draws a walk. Cerrone stands in against the left-hander Hassler. Fly ball left field. Joe Zeb is going to call for it and take it. That's one down. Willie Randolph stands in. No official at-bats today, but drove in a run on a suicide squeeze back in the second. Randolph hits a pop-up, drifting into foul territory. That is George Brett, and he will take it, and that's 2 down. And Jerry Mumphrey stands in, 1 for 2, with an RBI triple. We have a wild pitch chance. No wild pitch. Pitch to Mumphrey. Line drive, base hit. Milbourne will stop at second. Winfield comes to the plate. Oh, boy. Whitey's not moving, and the Royals bullpen is not active. First and second for Winfield. Line drive, base hit. Center field. Otis can throw. Milbourne's around third. He's fast. They're going to wave Milbourne home. The throw from Otis is not in time. Larry Milbourne scores the Yankees' 5th run on a single by Winfield. It's now Yankees 5, Royals 3. Reggie stands in. Reggie's 0 for 2 today. And he hits a fly ball to the left. That's Joe Zeb. And Joe Zeb will make the play for out number 3. But thanks to the bat of Dave Winfield, the Yankees add an insurance run, and after 3.5 innings, they now lead by a score of 5-3 over the 77 Royals. John Mayberry leads off in the bottom of the 4th. Ground ball short, that's Milbourne. And that takes off in the on the wet carpet and is a base hit for Mayberry as it goes into left field. Amos Otis stands in. Tommy John hanging on for dear life at this point to the belt. The pitch to Otis. Wild pitch chance. Tommy John just threw a wild pitch. Ron Davis is going to get up for the Yankees. Otis stands in. The count's 1-0. Mayberry's on second. Line drive, base hit, Amos Otis. This is going to get all the way to the left center field wall. Even John Mayberry can score on this double, and it's 5-4. Royals just keep coming. Darrell Porter stands in, tying run on second base now. And the pitch to Porter is hit deep, way back, and Reggie to the wall, and it's caught. Not on a rainy, drizzly, cold, bad weather day like today, but Porter gave it a ride. Otis holds at second, and Joe Zeb stands in. Tempting to go to Davis at this point, but maybe not yet. Joe Zeb standing in against Tommy John. Tying run still on second. And that's a grounder to Nettles. Greg is going to throw to first, and that's 2 down. And Frank White. Royals want this run. They want to tie this game. John to the belt. He checks Otis at second. The pitch home to White is a ground ball to Nettles. And he throws to Watson for the out. After 4 innings, Yankees 5, Royals 4, in the rain in Kansas City. And we go to the top of the 5th. It'll be Gamble, Nettles, and Watson. And Andy Hassler still in there for Kansas City. And that's a fly ball to left. Joe Zeb is going to be there, and he'll make the play for out number 1. Greg Nettles. Line drive. Knocked down by Mayberry. He's going to flip it to Hassler, and that's 2 down. And Bob Watson. Ground ball third. George Brett gloves it and throws across to Mayberry, and that retires the Yankees in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 81 Yankees 5, 77 Royals 4. And Freddie Patek, top of the order, stands in for the Royals. And that's hit deep. Way back for Patek and gone into the left field seats. Patek, Freddie Patek, 5'4", Freddie Patek, drives one out of here in the rain. He had 5 on the year in 1977. We are tied at 5, and George Frazier will get up. And start throwing for the Yankees. Hal McRae with nobody out. And a tie game, brand new game. McRae's 1 for 2. And a ground ball to Milbourne. And look at this scoot on the carpet. And that's going to get through for a base hit for McRae. George Brett stands in against the left-hander Tommy John. 1 for 2 for Brett today, and a ribby. Ground ball, Milbourne. Did Tommy John get one of those patented Tommy John double play grounders? No, he didn't. McRae is going to advance to second. Milbourne's going to make the play to first, and that's 1 man out, and the lead run in scoring position, and that's it for Tommy John, as we're going to see George Frazier in the bottom of the 5th. John goes 4 1/3 innings. He allowed 2, 4, 6, 8 hits. He walked 1. He struck out none, and all of the runs are earned. So John does not come through when his team needs him. McRae is on second base. He carries the lead run at this point. There's 1 out in the 5th. Al Cowens, the cleanup hitter for Kansas City, stands in against George Frazier. Let's tell you about him. I've already mentioned he was the loser of 3 games in the 1981 World Series against the Dodgers. In 1981, Frazier was 0-1 with a 1.63 earned run average. He saved 3 games and pitched 28 innings. Al Cowens is 1 for 2 today. He stands in against him. the double and a run scored. Fly ball center field. That's going to be taken by Mumphrey on the run, and that's 2 down. And John Mayberry is due. And they're going to walk him to get... No, they're not going to walk him to get to Otis. They're going to face John Mayberry. George Frazier, not a great matchup. Frazier to the belt, checks McRae. The pitch home to Mayberry is a ground ball to first. That's Watson, who's going to make the play unassisted. And that will end the 5th inning for the Royals. However, after 5, we've settled nothing. It's 81 Yankees 5, 77 Royals 5. And we're going to get a new pitcher for Kansas City. And Hassler went 3 1/3, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, walked 1, and struck out 2. But it's time for someone else, and that someone else is going to be Doug Bird. Doug Bird is on for the first time in the series, just like Hassler. He will face Milbourne, Cerrone, and Randolph. Let's tell you about Doug Bird. Multiple roles for Doug Bird in 1977 for the Royals. He was 11-4 with a 3.88 earned run average. He started 5 games. He saved 14. He pitched 118 innings of work. Larry Milbourne stands in against Bird. Milbourne's 1 for 1 with a walk today. And that's a line drive base hit right field. Milbourne's on. And Cerrone stands in. Getting a sign from the third base coach. And Cerrone... Yankees are going to play a little small ball. He squares around to bunt. He gets it down. Taken by Mayberry, and Mayberry will flip to White for the putout. However, Milbourne moves up to second base, and Willie Randolph stands in with 1 man out, and Milbourne on second, the lead run in the ball game for Randolph, and that's a chance for Porter. And Darryl Porter takes the foul out from Randolph, and that's a second big out in the inning, and Mumphrey stands in against Bird with the tying run still on second. That's Milbourne on second, 2 men out. Mumphrey stands in, switch hitter batting left against Bird. And that's a ground ball, Brett. George Brett. Fumbles it. George Brett fumbles the ball. And Milbourne's going to advance to third. That's going to make Mumphrey safe at first, and Winfield's coming up again with a chance to do damage. So the Yankees have men at the corners and the lead run on third base. 2 outs for Winfield. Pitching against Bird, who's going to throw some sinkers, I have a feeling. And Winfield strikes out on a Bird sinker, and that retires the Yankees in the 6th. So Bird has some trouble. However, he works around a walk and an error and keeps the Yankees off the board in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Amos Otis leads off against George Frazier. Amos is 1 for 1 today, and he strikes out against Frazier for out number 1. Darryl Porter stands in. And Darryl hits a ground ball to second. That's Willie Randolph, who's going to throw to Watson for out number 2. And Joe Zeb. That's going to do it for Joe Zeb. He plays against left-handed pitching, and Tom Poquette is going to bat for Zeb here in the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs. Frank White's on deck. And Poquette in 1977 hit .292 in 342 at-bats. His on-base average was .337. And that's a fly to right for Reggie, coming in a few steps, and he'll make the play, and that retires the Royals in the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th. Poquette is going to play left field as suspected. And it'll be Jackson, Gamble, and Nettles, a trio of left-handers. And that means one thing. Doug Bird's day is done, and it's going to be Steve Mingori on to face these gents. In the top of the 7th. We are tied at 5. Reggie stands in against the left-hander Mingori. In 1977, Steve Mingori was pretty tough. He's 2-4 with a 3.09 ERA. He saved 4 games. He worked 64 innings. Reggie Jackson's 0 for 3 today. He stands in against Mingori and lines a shot that White handles, and that's 1 down on the line drive. Oscar Gamble stands in. They could hit for him here, and they are. It's going to be Lou Piniella batting for Gamble. Lou Piniella will pinch hit for designated hitter Oscar Gamble. In 1981, Lou Piniella hit .277 in 159 at-bats. He had 5 homers, and his on-base average was .331. He's going to try and drive one into the gap against Mingori. The pitch is hit deep for Piniella, but it's not going to get out of here. On another day it might, but this is off the wall. Pinella's going to make second and have a double. Mingori facing Nettles. Oh, boy. Marty Patton's going to get loose for the Royals. Nettles at the plate, 0 for 2 today with a walk, a whiff, and a run scored. He's looking to drive home the lead run for the Yankees. Line drive, base hit center field. Piniella around third. He is going to be stopped at third base because of Otis's cannon for an arm. But the Yankees have men at first and third now. And 1 man out, Bob Watson up, and Mingori is in trouble. Patton is not yet ready. Oh, boy. How do they want to do this? They're going to pitch to Watson. Infield at double play depth. Piniella takes his lead off third. Nettles at first. Not a lot of speed on the Yankee bases. Ball 4 to Watson, and that loads the bases for Larry Milbourne. That's going to be it for Mingori. Not a rousing success there, and the new pitcher is going to be Marty Patton. So Mingori's day is done. He pitched 1/3 of an inning, allowed 2 hits and a walk. So far, no runs. Marty Patton, in 1977, had a few different roles for the Royals. He was 10-3 with a 3.58 earned run average. He started 10 times and had 128 innings of work. He now faces Larry Milbourne. The Yankees have slow, and slower on the bases. It's Piniella on third, Nettles on second, and Watson on first. Milbourne is up. The infield is going to play in at the corners. Yeah, they're going to play in at the corners. And Milbourne's going to try and drive him home. The pitch to Larry. Looper caught by White on the line drive It's 2 outs. Wow, huge out there. Runners do not advance. Cerrone steps up in the 7th with 2 outs. Marty Patton to the belt. He checks all the runners. The infield now at normal depth. Hit deep. But not going to get out of here. Cerrone's going to get a base hit. That's going to drive home Piniella. It's going to drive home Nettles. And Watson's going to go to third. The Yankees lead 7-5 on a single by Rick Cerrone, who now has 3 RBIs on the day. Willie Randolph, first and third for the Yankees. 2 men out. Strikes out on a Patton changeup. But thanks to Mangori's rocky start to the inning, the Yankees are able to plate 2 runs and now lead by a score of 7-5 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. The new pitcher for the Yankees will be Ron Davis. He will take over for George Frazier. In 1981, Ron Davis was 4-5 with a 2.71 earned run average and 0 starts, 6 saves, and 73 innings of work. Frank White stands in against him in the bottom of the 7th. The Royals have to get back to work. They've been behind all day until they tied the game, and now they got to get back in it again. White stands in against Davis. That's a ground ball to Watson. Bob Watson lets the ball bounce off his glove. Maybe the ball was wet. We don't know, but White is safe on the Watson error. And Matic stands in against Davis. Boy, this is not a pretty ball game, but it is a close one. Freddie Matic stands in. He's 1 for 2 today with a walk. Fly ball, Mumphrey, center field. He's got a long run to make. He gets there, and then he holds on and gets it back in. 1 down for the Royals in the bottom of the 7th. Hal McRae is 2 for 3 with a ribby today, and looking to get a hit off Davis. He strikes out against Ron Davis, and that's 2 down in the 7th. And George Brett stands in. 1 for 3 with a ribby. If he goes deep, we're tied. He strikes out against Brett, so Davis's submarining deliveries are too much for the Royals in the 7th. We go to the 8th with the score. New York 7, Kansas City 5. And Patton's still on for the Royals. Mumphrey, Winfield, and Jackson are due. It's a ground ball to White. And Frank makes the play for out number 1. Dave Winfield stands in. 1 out in the 8th. Line drive, center field, long run, Amos Otis. He's there and pulls it in. 2 down, and Reggie Jackson stands in against Patton. Reggie's 0 for 4 today. And that's a ground ball to Matic. Freddie Matic throws out Reggie Jackson, and that retires the Yankees in the 8th. Go to the bottom of the 8th. New York 7, Kansas City 5. Davis still on the mound. All right, looking for a glove to replace Reggie, but they don't have one. Al Cowan stands in. It'll be Cowan's, Mayberry, and Otis. And Al stands in against Davis. Fly ball center field. Jerry Mumphrey calls everybody off. And that's one down. John Mayberry stands in. One out in the 8th. Royals got to get up. 1 for 3 today for Mayberry. And that's hit to center. Mumphrey over his head. Mayberry's going to be on with a double. And the Royals have something going in the 8th. That's going to get Gossage throwing in the bullpen. And it's 1 out, 1 on for Amos Otis. Amos is 1 for 2 today. Sac fly, 2 ribbies, a double. Wild pitch chance. Not a wild pitch. It's just a ball 1 to Amos Otis. And he draws a walk on Davis. Porter is due up. Mayberry's on second. Otis is on first. How do they want to play this is the question. They're going to go to Gossage in the bottom of the 8th and try and hold this lead. Otis with excellent speed on first. Mayberry is on second, and it's possible he would score on a triple, but not fast. Okay, so Porter stands in with 1 man out. Darrell's 0 for 3 today. Gossage throws heat. Let's tell you about him. In 1981, 3-2 with a 0.77 earned run average, 20 saves in the strike-shortened season, and 47 innings of work. Pitch to Porter from Gossage is hit deep, way back, and this is going to get off the wall. Mayberry can even score on this one. Otis is being waved around third. They're going to cut the throw, and the game is tied. We are tied at 7 on a booming double by Darrell Porter off of a Rich Gossage fastball. 1 man out. Porter on second. Tom Poquette stands in. Ground ball first base taken by Watson unassisted, and Porter will take third. And Frank White is due. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Frank, what were you doing in 1977? You weren't getting on base, that's for sure. So, we're going to have a pinch hitter for White. White was 1 for 3 with a run scored on the day. However, Pete Lecoq is going to bat. Circle gets the square. And he will bat for Frank White. Gossage, ready to throw gas. In 1977, Pete Lecoq hit .303 in 218 at-bats. He had 3 homers and a .345 on-base average. Let's see what he does against Goose. 2 outs. Porter on third. Game is tied. Bottom of the 8th. And Lecoq strikes out. Wow. Gossage rears back and fires. Blows away Lecoq. We go to the 9th. We got a 1-inning ball game. Royals going to make some changes. Bob Heiss is in at second base as the new second baseman. The hero, or one of the heroes of yesterday's game for the Royals, Larry Gura, is on to pitch. And, oh boy, is he on to pitch? No, he's not on to pitch. Changed my mind. Mark Littell is in to pitch. Larry Gura is loose in the bullpen. And Littell is on to pitch the 9th. In 1977, Mark Littell went 8-4 with 3.61 earned run average, 5 starts, 12 saves, and 105 innings of work. Apparently, Whitey didn't want anyone to have a defined role in 1977. Lou Piniella will stand in now against Littell. They could go to Mercer, and they're going to go to Mercer for the second consecutive day. Bobby Mercer is going to get a 9th inning pinch hit chore and try and do some damage against the Royals. So Mercer pinch hitting for Piniella against Littell. Nettles is on deck. Watson is in the hole, and Mercer stands in. He pops it up. Porter in foul territory is going to call for it, and he takes it for out number 1. Greg Nettles facing Littell. Greg is 1 for 3 today. He hits a fly ball to center, but Amos is there, and that's 2 down. And Bob Watson stands in. They could hit for him, but they're not gonna. Bob is 0 for 3 with a walk today, and he hits a comebacker to Littell, who's going to make the play to first for the out. We're going to go to the bottom of the 9th. And it is the 81 Yankees 7, the 77 Royals 7, and the top of the Royals order is up. Rich Gossage is on the mound. He will face Patek, McRae, and Brett at a minimum for the Royals. Patek is 1 for 3 with a walk. He scored twice. He's hit a solo homer. Ground ball third. That's Nettles. He's going to throw to Watson for 1 man out. Hal McRae. McRae's 2 for 4 with a ribby and a whiff. Comebacker for Gossage. He gloves it and throws, and that's 2 down. And George Brett with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th against Gossage. Line drive caught by Randolph. And we are going to extra innings for the second consecutive day in this series. So, in the top of the 10th, it'll be Milbourne, Cerrone, and Randolph for the Yankees against Mark Littell in his second inning of work. Milbourne. Line drive, base hit, Larry Milbourne. He's got 3 hits on the day. Wow. Rick Cerrone stands in. Will he get the bunt sign? And if he gets it, will he pay attention? These are the questions of the day. Cerrone against Littell. Squares around a bunt. He gets it down. Fielded by Brett. They're going to take the sure out at first. And Cerrone is retired. Brett to Mayberry. And Milbourne moves up. Willie Randolph stands in. Against Littell. And he hits a base hit to center field. Milbourne is around third. Here he comes. Oh, man. Amos can really throw. And Milbourne has a 60% save chance. Gonna throw. He's gonna be waved. The throw to the plate is not in time. Milbourne scores on a single by Randolph. It's 8-7 Yankees. Gurra's back up for the Royals, and Mumphrey stands in against Littell. Strikes out Mumphrey. And Winfield is going to be walked. Oh, boy. No, he's not. They're going to face him. Yeah, well, they walked him unintentionally. That puts Winfield on first, and now here comes Whitey to get Littell and go to Gurra. And Gurra comes in, in the 10th. He is the 2, 4, 6, 7th Royals pitcher on the day. Littell went 1 2/3 innings. He allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and so far 1 run. Reggie stands in against Gura and is 0 for 5 today. Randolph is on second. Winfield's on first. The Yankees have good speed on the bases. Reggie lifts one in the air to left field. Poquette has plenty of room toward the foul line and takes it for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Gossage is done for the day. And how are they going to do this? Oh, boy. Rudy May is on for the 2nd consecutive day, and we'll try to get a better outcome than yesterday. Cowens stands in. It's Cowens, Mayberry, and Otis. And if anybody gets on, Porter. Cowens is 1 for 4 today with a double and a run scored. Royals need a run to tie. Yankees lead 8-7. We're in the bottom of the 10th. Rudy May. Oh, let's tell you about him. Didn't do that. 1981, Rudy May was 6-11 with a 4.14 earned run average in 22 starts. He saved 1 game and had 148 innings of work in the strike-shortened season. Al Cowens stands in and lines a base hit. Al Cowens is unbelievable. He's aboard, and Mayberry stands in. Now, Mayberry hit the game-winning, or game-clinching home run in extra innings in the 12th inning off of May yesterday. Does he have it in him to do it again? Mayberry's 2 for 4, 2 runs scored and a double. Fly ball center field. Mumphrey way back. Did he do it again? No. He caught it at the wall and gets the throw back in. Cowens retreats to first base. Amos Otis stands in against Rudy May. 1 for 2 today for Amos. A sac fly, 2 ribbies, a double, a run scored, and a walk. Ground ball, third base, Nettles. Nettles to Randolph to Watson for the double play, and the Yankees take game 2 in 10 innings by a score of 8-7. Wow, this is turning out to be quite a series. Let's look at the line score. For the victorious New York Yankees, 8 runs on 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 hits. And they committed 1 error. For the Kansas City Royals, 7 runs on 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 hits. And they committed 1 error. Winning pitcher is Gossage. He is 1-0 in the series. Losing pitcher is Mark Littell. And Mark is 0-1 in the series. The save goes to Rudy May, his first. So tomorrow we retreat to Yankee Stadium, where we will find the starters to be Paul Splittorff for the Kansas City Royals, the left-hander. The man whom Catfish Hunter said Reggie Jackson couldn't hit with a paddle. And he will face either Dave Righetti or Rick Russell for the New York Yankees. We've had 2 extra inning games so far in this series. Game 3 promises to be a barn burner. This is, tomorrow will be the deciding game, the 3rd final and rubber game of the series between the 77 Royals and the 81 Yankees. Thank you so much for watching. And please click like and subscribe to my channel. And Have a great day. So long, everybody.